Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review with us, the British Fist.
Coaching.
I am the one and only Mr. Parkin, sporting my Washington Wizards Michael Jordan specific fake knockoff jersey. Fuck you, Schleg Daddy. And in this corner, we have the one and only non-basketball jersey wearing NJ.
What's up?
Make sure you guys subscribe or above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this Raw down in that comment section below.
Purple and black, what am I like? Make sure you contact us in the description box below.
Michael Jordan did play for the Washington Wizards, Schleg Daddy. Anyway, this Raw was the first Raw after Elimination Chamber, the first one on the road to WrestleMania, the time of the year where we most look forward to what's going to happen in the wrestling business as it is leading up to the biggest event of the year. We do expect big things at this time, don't we?
When it comes to Raw following pay-per-views, you normally expect good shows, direction towards the next pay-per-view, yes. And that's what this Raw should concentrate on. And as leading up to one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, this is where the main focus is to make sure this WrestleMania is as big as it could be. And
to spark as much interest as it should do, as well. We start off this show, not very interestingly, mind you. We start off with Eve and her little Bella sluts having a little chat about how Zack Ryder was he was nothing, and you know, I was just using him, and I'm going to use John Cena.
The main thing about this opening is when you come back from a pay-per-view onto Raw, the first thing you want to see is the main focus of the pay-per-view leading to the next one. Not some boring divas that don't really have long-term thing in the build towards WrestleMania. So this opener straight away gave me a bad feeling of the start of Raw.
We had Cena there, he's in the main event. Trying to be positive, ladies and gentlemen. Should we move on to the official opener? We had an Eve heel turn, and this led on to our opener with John Cena. It was really weird because Eve then comes out and he was talking about, because of Eve, you lost a good friend in Ryder, and this just was not the best way to start off Raw, in my opinion. Just really fell flat, this segment did.
Especially after the introduction music, you get that, go on to this, Cena coming out, yes, it makes sense, he had a big match at Elimination Chamber, but the fact that Eve got involved, and it was basically revolving around Eve and Cena, this really did not give, again, just like the opener, did not give a good feeling to the actual show so far.
Yeah, I mean, with Kane gone now, Rock not here till next week, you really didn't have many options as to what to do with John Cena, who is in the main event. I will say this, though, the segment wasn't very good, but I saw shades here of Cena's old rapper gimmick, and that could be entertaining, as we saw in the next promo segment. It did. Excuse me, that pizza went down really fast earlier in the night. And we kind of spent ages just for Eve to get to the back. It just wasn't a very good way to start off the show, in our opinion. It just was very flat, and yeah, it just really wasn't the best way to start off the show from an entertainment standpoint.
Not really. I didn't really... From the opener, I didn't really feel it was a follow-on from the pay-per-view, but let's just see what else comes up next.
We had an Undertaker video package. He's going to be bold now, of course. We didn't see it tonight, but you know, we finally also got the news that SmackDown, we're going to have Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk in the main event again.
Well, I'm going to be all for it, because the way their match finished last time, it didn't end in a clean way. We didn't get a clean winner. So this time round, again, it's on a special show, so it's good. It's going to get the crowd wanting to see it. And I'm thinking with these two performers actually going to have a proper match, maybe come up with a clean winner or a different way of finishing, it's going to be a good match for SmackDown.
Yeah, and SmackDown is live tomorrow night, so probably be reviewing it, I guess, on Tuesday, whether or not, you know,
we'll see,
whatever happens with circumstances at home. But, you know, this is going to be the main event of SmackDown. Gives us a reason to watch, and they're at least trying to hype up the next episode of this SmackDown, which is live. I didn't really realise it was live until really today, to be honest.
The fact that it's live, again, we do expect good things. There'll be no spoilers. It's just a straight-up show. Something to look forward to, so we look forward to SmackDown this week.
Yeah, positivity and the YWC. I'm all for it, brother. Sheamus versus Mark Henry. This is an interesting match, because when we first saw this, we were kind of like, damn, this is the match I wanted to see at Mania. I wanted to see Mark Henry on a dominant heel run with Sheamus there to topple him. This is the match I wanted to see at Mania, but of course with injuries, we couldn't see it. I think that would have been the best way to go, but instead we got it on free TV.
Well, with this match, again, the fact that they faced each other in the past and not had a clean winner, the fact that with this, they're two, like, Mark Henry's been built up to this monster heel, and Sheamus is this monster baby face, and I'm thinking that these two could have made a big, great match for WrestleMania, just because of the way they've been built up. The injuries really let them down, but now we get it tonight. We're really expecting them to obviously have a great, decent match, but did we get that? Not really.
I mean, it is unfortunate that these injuries happened, or else that could, like I said, that could have been a great match at Mania, I thought, especially in getting Sheamus over. And they were trying to do the same thing here. I mean, it seems like Henry is not really it seems like Henry wasn't injured anymore, but the fact the match went only 3 minutes kind of shows me that he still is, and he's probably working through pain at the moment, still working hurts. The match itself went about 3 minutes, which really surprised me because you've had Mark Henry, who was on this massive heel run, and all of a sudden now he's doing a job clean to Sheamus in 3 minutes. I'll admit, while I don't like it, it does make Sheamus look strong, and he is definitely going to be in the Mania card. Whether Mark Henry's going to be there or not, I don't know. But, you know, you can look at this two ways, really. It depends how you look at it.
Well, the way I look at this match, for an opener for two big guys like this, it should have got more time. But if they're still playing off Mark Henry being slightly injured, but still having a match, maybe it should have been short. But for two big guys like this, it should have got more time. But other than that, the way it went, I guess it was somewhat good for what it was.
I mean, the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. They were both on Raw tonight, which is a positive in my opinion. You had John Laurinaitis and Tay Long having a face-off in the backstage area. It's kind of thinking, you know, this whole thing is who's going to be the GM of Raw or SmackDown, and this is... We'll go on to our thoughts more on it in the segment, but it seems like they may be having some kind of WrestleMania match based around this, doesn't it?
Well, with them, obviously, with Laurinaitis, obviously, speaking about Theodore Long at Elimination Chamber and then following on to Raw, it's definitely teasing something here between those two, and obviously, for them to build up to WrestleMania, big things are going to happen. Start of a new wrestling year after WrestleMania. So who knows what ideas they're going to come up with. Yeah,
we get a 10-man interbrand battle royal to determine the number one contender for the WWE title. We'll go on to more of our thoughts on that later on in the review. I thought though, the reason why they didn't have Jericho, the reason they had Jericho get injured in that chamber was so they could sort of skip all this and just get down to Jericho and Punk. But they did get down to it in the end tonight. I just thought the whole reason why the injury thing was there was so they could just go straight to that feud rather than have a number one contendership for it first.
But like I've always say, whenever it comes to this, number one contenders are more important to me because obviously that determines, after going through a big match, to determine who's going to go off and face the champ. So in my opinion, the main event or the match that's coming up later was not nicely done.
You are a number one contendership mark, NJ.
Oh yes.
Random tag match FCW. James, did I say FCW? I meant FTW. Goddamn, FCW is a great show. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston versus Jericho and Primo. Seemed like a bit of a random match. Are they all of a sudden just making R-Truth and Kofi a tag team? This seemed really random, didn't it?
Well, I look at this, and the first thing that came to my mind is they really ran out of ideas for R-Truth. Like, with The Miz, that could have been a good feud leading up to WrestleMania or whatever. A good match if they built it up properly. Kofi Kingston, they need to give him something, another tag team, or even better, a mid-card push. Yeah. Epico and Primo got there on TV, but again, it was just a bit of a random match in my opinion.
I do wonder what this is setting up. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Truth and Kofi. But it does look like they're going with the tag team, especially since what happened in the main event. Just funny how you got sort of two black guys together, and all of a sudden it's kind of funny how also Evan Bourne failed a wellness policy, and also Truth failed a wellness policy, and now Truth is tagging with Kofi Kingston. It just kind of makes me laugh the way that happened. But the faces get the win in 2.5 minutes. Did we really expect anything different?
No, not with Kofi Kingston and R-Truth being the bigger guys in this part of the match. And the fact that now they've had the win, who knows what they're going to do next? Because if they've got nothing to do with them, who knows what happened up towards WrestleMania.
Damn! Who's in the Hall of Fame, NJ?
Ron Simmons!
Well deserved. That's all I can say. Very well deserved to Ron Simmons for getting into the Hall of Fame. That is a very deserved accolade for Ron Simmons.
And what I'm going to say is we've already got big names. So for Ron Simmons, a guy who's had a career, and we'll show the video package of it all, he actually deserved this spot in the Hall of Fame.
We had David Otunga with John Laurinaitis versus Bill Gambino style with Ted Long, player. This match seemed like... This kind of reminds me of McMahon Trump. And I think this is what they're going to hype it up as. It would seem like they're going to have Laurinaitis pick a wrestler from Raw and Teddy Long pick a wrestler from SmackDown and maybe hype it up as a sort of whoever wins gets the GM of Raw and SmackDown. But the way they did it, it seemed like they were going to go down this route.
Well, my thought straight away was two things. Number one, Laurinaitis and Theodore Long, you don't really want to see them wrestling against each other. So they go down this whole Trump and Vince idea. It would be... So bring back that old idea.
They did bring Lawler and Cole last year, so don't be surprised if they do Long versus Laurinaitis. The Ace Crusher might be getting on WrestleMania this year.
But what I will say about this match, again, you saw what happened to Zeke at SmackDown, Jinder Mahal, and then this match, he gets Otunga on, who I thought, Otunga's going to get squashed, but it's the opposite way around. We have Zeke getting beaten.
All I can say is Otunga gets the victory in 1 minute 30 seconds. And if you're looking for a suitable replacement for Ezekiel Jackson on SmackDown, look no further than Big E Langston of FCW, who was featured in the John Cena video package on Elimination Chamber. Great alternative there. Just saying. Just giving FCW a bit of a shout out there on the Raw review, NJ. So looks like it's setting up some kind of Laurinaitis versus Teddy Long thing. However they'll do it, I don't know, but at least it's setting it up, I guess.
Again, with the whole, they got to follow through now. They've got this whole Laurinaitis wanting to take over, so they've got to follow this through. Whatever idea they do it, again, it's going to be something to look forward to as we build up to WrestleMania.
Our main event, NJ, I think we kind of knew this would be our main event. Undertaker versus Triple H. Well, Undertaker Triple H segment, I should say. Undertaker versus Triple H in a promo segment. You got to admit, though, Taker's entrance still brilliant, isn't it, to this day? Like, the impact of that entrance still makes chills go down your spine.
With Taker, obviously, he does give it off as the feeling towards the fans. But the thing is, we had a video package of Taker near the beginning of the show, so it hyped that up, and then it followed on to this.
Yeah, we have him coming out for a promo segment, covering his bald hair, I imagine what they're doing. He was talking about how, he lived last year, he's been living with the beating he took from Triple H last year, and how Triple H said no, and they're on the verge of the apocalypse, and he has to end this uncertainty, and Triple H cannot lie to himself about it anymore. I just have a whole problem with the way they're going around this, the whole fact that Undertaker's trying to get Triple H to accept when Undertaker won at last year's WrestleMania. Should it not be the other way? They're kind of twisting the story so it's Taker going after Triple H, which kind of annoys me slightly.
You normally have people going after Taker, but with this, I think the fact they've swerved it around, like having Triple H now the COO, and you have Undertaker really feeling bad that he got so beaten in that match against Triple H last year. They're going to try and relive it, and they brought the whole, they're the last two wrestlers, so they're going to have to go for this match. So yeah, you can see it two ways, but it's a match that the WWE are really hyping up in a big segment like this.
Yes, and if this segment couldn't get more long-winded enough, out comes Triple H, and Taker's basically talking. You have this nice interaction between Taker and Triple H, talking about how Triple H's reasons are pitiful, and Triple H goes on about it's good for business, but eventually Taker manages to get to the point where Triple H does accept the match, and we finally get the announcement that it's going to be Triple H versus Taker at WrestleMania.
The thing I say about this, he went through the whole coward thing, which annoys Triple H because he wants to be seen as the best man.
Better than Shawn.
Then he went on to better than Shawn, and those two things really hit Triple H, and this basically led to him looking Undertaker in the face, saying, "You want this match? You want this? I'm going to have to go through you to finish you, and I don't want to do that." But he said it, and now the match is happening.
Yeah, and it's going to be happening in what match type, NJ?
Hell in the Cell!
And if we ignore Big Boss Man versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 15, this is the first proper Elimination Chamber match we've had at Mania. So the right match type for this, I mean, they can't really go too much in the ring anymore, these two, so why not have a match which they're going to, admittedly in the PG era, the whole telling themselves thing is a bit dead, but it'll be a good match at Mania, no doubt, with this involved in it anyway.
Well, the last thing with Hell in a Cell, it's normally a career-ending thing, it's meant to be, so the fact that having this whole feud going into a Hell in a Cell, it's basically saying, we're going to put this to rest in a big match like this, and what a match it's going to be. People were going crazy about it. Hell in a Cell in the PG era, who knows what's going to happen. But there's one point I want to make. There has been rumours or there's been reports that Shawn Michaels going to make one more appearance before WrestleMania. Who knows what else they could add to this match.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a good match. I'm not a massive fan of the feud or the fact they're doing this for the third time, but at least it should be a good match like their 27-1, I imagine. They'll have a lot to live up to after that one, that's all I can say. So all in all, a pretty intense promo segment, which probably went on maybe 5 minutes too long, in my opinion. It did kind of drag, and the crowd kind of showed that with the fact they didn't really react too much.
No, but again, when we think of Triple H segments, he's always going to try and get his point across in
a very long-winded way.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yes, indeed. Daniel Bryan versus Santino was next. Yeah, don't even bother doing that, NJ. You know how I felt about him eliminating Cody Rhodes. I must admit, I have calmed down a lot since the whole Cody Rhodes being eliminated by Santino. I'm fine now, by the way. I was a bit moody in that review last night, and I apologise again. But Daniel Bryan versus Santino, to be honest with you, again, you could look at this match two ways. This match went 50 seconds, and Daniel Bryan pretty much squashed Santino. Kind of shows you how much of a joke that fucking Elimination Chamber match was last night, wasn't it? That Santino was the last one in that chamber, and Daniel Bryan is beating him in 50 seconds.
The thing I want to say about Santino is the way he's been built up through his matches. He's been able to last long-term matches in the Elimination Chamber. He lasted quite a bit of time with Daniel Bryan in the final. The fact that he goes 50 seconds in this match, it kind of shows that, okay, you've had Santino looked good at the Chamber. When it comes to a singles match, he doesn't look like good. But whatever, Daniel Bryan picks up the win, which was going to happen.
Yeah.
And again, it was just a winning match, which I don't think Daniel Bryan should have even had a match. He could have done this or saved something for his match on SmackDown.
Which is going to be the main event. I mean, it gets Daniel Bryan heel heat, I'll give him that. And he is going to have a match on SmackDown, so I can understand why they did this. Santino is, again, pretty damn over as well, even though that crowd wasn't very good tonight, it was still over. So I can understand why they did it. You know, we'll move on. Divas match, Kelly and Aksana versus the Bellas. Bellas win, who gives a shit? No Karma was there. Anyway, let's move on to the Cena.
Just a random match I didn't like.
Who gives a shit? No, Cena addresses the WWE Universe. You fell asleep during this segment, MJ, didn't you?
Well, the thing about this, when it comes to Cena, I do play dead because I find it a bit boring. So I heard it was being said. What I'm going to say about this is that yes, it sounds similar to his other promos where he talks about Rock comes, he goes, and all that. But the thing about this, he stood his ground and saying that he is a wrestler for the WWE and he's not going to back down to The Rock at WrestleMania, and he's looking forward to this match. And he throws in insults and jokes and that. So he adds something to this, which I thought for Cena, it's going to happen because he's hyping up his match against The Rock.
It was a good promo by Cena. I have really no problems with this. He showed attitude in this Cena, talking about the only reason that Rock ever came back was to promote his movie on Twitter, and he was apologising for Vince, saying that he's going to be talking all this shit. He's talking about fighting for every person whose dream it has been to get on to be a WWE superstar. So he's really trying to babyface it up. But, you know, I did think this is a good segment. I mean, when Rock's not there, what really else can you do with John Cena, really? The Rock needs to be there pretty much, in my opinion, for every Raw up until WrestleMania. I know it's not going to happen, but I feel it should happen if they're going to really promote this, because we saw how only having Rock for Survivor Series for like one or two Raws really didn't help that buy rate. And in my opinion, Rock needs to be there more. He does need to be there on the build to WrestleMania. It just has to be.
And the fact that we're getting Rock next week, again, it's going to be Rock's turn to speak on mic, and Cena's going to be there. So that's something to look forward to. And hopefully, the weeks to come, there's still going to be more Rock appearances as well as Cena promos.
Yeah, in our main event of the evening, 10-man battle royal to determine the number one contender for the WWE title, and CM Punk was on commentary for this one, and that really rehashed the old days of CM Punk commentary during his injury. I enjoyed him on commentary.
It's very good, obviously, with him being there, watching his future opponents in it. It was good because he added something to the match, as well as to be there, ready to confront his opponent.
NJ, I didn't know your action figure looked like Ben Affleck. But anyway, basically everyone's involved, but the champions from Elimination Chamber. You incorporated Raw and SmackDown guys. Did you really need to put SmackDown guys in there, seeing as they really can't go after the WWE Championship?
Even though we all knew that Jericho was going to pick up the win,
pretty much.
Again, having SmackDown in, yes, there's a chance that if a SmackDown wrestler won, they would maybe swap shows and that, but we all knew that Jericho was going to win, even if they did have SmackDown wrestlers involved.
It was a foregone conclusion, but it is the right foregone conclusion because Punk and Jericho is the match that they essentially want to build to. And this is in the right main event spot. CM Punk and Jericho is a draw somewhat, you know, not as much as Rock Cena, but it's still a draw. So to have that as the main event was the correct thing, in my opinion. The Battle Royal was pretty good. I thought the Battle Royal was pretty good. You again had interaction between Rhodes and Santino. At this point, I do wonder what they're going to do with Barrett at Mania. Now he's injured, though. He got massive. He got really hurt in this match, didn't he? They were saying broken arm or something. You even had Jericho going out after the match to see if he was okay or not.
The way it went, it looked pretty bad, but obviously they were just going with what the match was planned, throwing over the rope and all that. It's a shame that Barrett's injured, because obviously Barrett's a big name, and a Mania match for him would have been good. But the highlight of this match, yes, you had the whole Big Show dominating thing, but Cody Rhodes obviously stood his ground, and he actually looked really good in this match.
Yeah! Fuck you, Santino! This is the revenge! This is the happiness that I get from Santino getting eliminated by Cody Rhodes, getting eliminated by Santino at Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes whooped Santino's ass and fucked him out. Fuck you, Santino. Cody Rhodes for the fucking win.
Even though the big thing I did like about this match is that Santino, obviously he was playing this injury angle as he came down to the ring, got in the ring, and he was just in it, in my opinion, again, just like he was in the other chamber. He was in it a bit too long. He played him a big part, eliminating Wade Barrett and R-Truth. It was just too much for Santino, but I'm glad that he got eliminated and got taken care of, and the match came down to pretty good final. Yeah,
I mean, it does look like they're going to do a Cody Rhodes-Santino, maybe an IC feud based on what they've done here. But in the end, they had Rhodes helping Jericho to eliminate Big Show. Could set up a SmackDown match for all we know. But you had that. Jericho wins predictably. You have Punk and Jericho kind of staring down to end the show. It was a good main event. I thought it did a lot of things in the main event.
Well, there's two things I want to quickly say. There's possibly going to be a Big Show and Cody Rhodes match at SmackDown, to obviously to follow on that, because Big Show did follow Cody Rhodes away.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Cody Rhodes eliminating Big Show. Again, I don't know why the referee allowed that. They allowed it. Jericho picked up the win. They have a stare down. So it's obviously shown you the match we're going to get now at WrestleMania. So I thought the ending wrapped this whole show up nicely, and we got what we expected to see at the end of the show.
I'm glad this was the main event and not the Cena promo. Just put it that way. I thought this was a more exciting way to end the show, personally. Yeah. But a shame if this whole thing means that Barrett can't be at WrestleMania. Damn, that's a shame, really, for me.
It would, because obviously with the you want as much star power you can in a feud or in a match at WrestleMania. So taking out possible guys who are going to become the future of the WWE out of WrestleMania would be a bad move or a bad start to the new year.
Bit unfortunate, but that happens in wrestling. So can't really say too much else about that. Good main event. What did you think of the show overall? I really didn't think it was very entertaining. I thought it was pretty boring. But we got a lot of stuff teased for Mania, which is essentially what this show pretty much had to give us, wasn't it?
Well, after the bad open, I did expect bad things to follow, but we did get segments, matches that obviously followed on from the Chamber, and we had segments that led up to WrestleMania. The only thing I had was the main event had obviously 5 top wrestlers on the show, so you kind of taken away matches that could happen, but with the long segments and the short matches, it kind of flowed, and there weren't much filler in this match, video package-wise, so I thought this show was okay, but just not entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't very much wrestling in this apart from the main event. The promos were pretty decent for what they were. Like NJ said, it's hyping up a lot of stuff in WrestleMania, so it is doing its job. Early hype of WrestleMania is always good. Remember last year, it really didn't have that much going on going into Mania, so at least they're trying to start early with this whole thing. You've got the WWE title match done, World Championship match done. You've got, you've got Taker versus Triple H done. You've got other matches in there, that are really being teased. So they're doing their job correctly, even if the show isn't very entertaining. I still really give it a lot of credit for actually teasing some stuff, even though it wasn't very interesting.
No, we had some matches that could have been taken out or just had more meaning to it, but they're all hyping up something. So overall, I'm satisfied with this. Grade-wise, what would you say?
It gets like in terms of entertainment, it was like a C-, but in terms of doing what it needed to do, it was like a B. So it really to me, you can grade it in 2 ways. Entertainment-wise, it really wasn't that good, like D+, C-. But it did its job to hype up Mania. So, I think I'm going to leave it like that. 2 separate grades, one for entertainment, one for build. You could say overall C+, B-.
But the way I see it is that obviously the WWE is now about entertainment, so they could have had entertainment in this. The entertainment they tried throwing didn't work out, but for following from the pay-per-view and to WrestleMania, I'm going to give it, because we've got matches announced, we've got hype, I'm going to give it a B. Pretty much B, yes. I was thinking that's better for me. B.
41 days to go till Mania, right? Look forward to doing that review.
It'll be a good time to wait, and obviously in the meantime, check out our WrestleMania review.
Yes, WrestleMania 18 will be up for you guys this weekend, and pretty much from now onwards, we'll be putting 2 WrestleMania reviews up each week, going up to WrestleMania 27. So look forward to those, guys. Also look forward to a SmackDown review tomorrow, whether it's depending on what's going on, whether it's with us two or whether it's just us doing an individual video. But look forward to a SmackDown review, obviously tomorrow. Should we just end the video there? Because we've been going on for, 24 minutes now, NJ. So I say you just do the outro and we just get the fuck out of here.
Thank you very much, Dan. All I'm going to say now is this Raw has been a somewhat good follow-on from the Elimination Chamber. Good lean on to WrestleMania. So all I'd say, people, is please share your thoughts on the Raw we've had in the comment section below. Leave us your feedback and we'll comment as soon as we can. And that has been it from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Till next time, people, goodbye.